he just talked to the Amrish Bhai. He said 10:30 is fine. So we'll finish 10:20. So. Okay. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam, Eso Panchanamukaro, Savapavapanasano, Mangalanam cha Savesim, Padamam Havai Mangalam. Jai Jinendra, everybody. Yeah, I think. Let's see what comes next. Oh, sorry. Sorry, let's finish this, yeah. Right. नहीं आपने 22 करे ना. So this is the one. Okay. Comparison with the sun. So we'll go through the last slide with the picture so we can cover everything, you know. All saint chants hymns of devotion to the Jina. The aura acquired through this devotion and purity humbles the god of death. Thus conquering death, the mendicant forges ahead on the path of purification. Ascetic consider you as the supreme human, you know, bright as the sun, flawless, and having conquered darkness. Having conquered. This one will go through. O Lord, you are addressed by the saint as imperishable, omnipresent, incomprehensible, innumerable, Brahma, Ishvara, infinite, Kamet, which can destroy lust, the Lord of yogis, well versed in yoga, many, anek, one egg, omniscient in form and pure. Here is all explanation for each one. Eternal as far as your soul is concerned. Vibhu means the one, has become omniscient because of destruction of the karma. Chitya, you have a form which is beyond comprehension. The one who is accountable, you uncountable. You are the first Tirthankara, the first to teach the worldly affairs to mankind. You know, that's why you call Adinath. The one with attributes of Lord Buddha. Oh, Brahma, I'm sorry, Michami. You have Aishwarya, the divine halo around you. You are without end, the soul is eternal, and you have attained liberation. God Vishnu is also referred to as Anant. Angketu, you have destroyed the lust instinct. The one with virtues. As the soul substance, you are only one. One Tirthankar, first Tirthankar. You have attained Keval Jnana. You are free from dirt of karma. So, Gunvachak Namo Dvara Prabhu Stuti. So, all qualities of all Harihara is in Arihant Lord Rishabhdev. That's completes the first 24th stanza. Now go on a second one. Yes. Wow. I don't know. There is another lady, right? Agree. There is another lady. Comparison with Buddha, Shankara, Brahma and Vishnu. You are the most supreme of all with infinite value, infinite virtues. This was written about 1500 years ago. Yeah, this was written in 1000 AD, so about 1000 years ago. So namaskar with utmost respect. Man god, ascetics and lesser god pay their homage to the Jina. You are the virtuous adoration of the world, supreme being and guides toward liberation. You can see little by little, you can achieve that liberation. And then there is a sign of Jain universe. By the way, we have some pins of Jain Universe to pass it out to you. If you don't have it, you can get it from Bakula. It's a little pin you can put it on your purse. Lord is faultless. Balance, lamp are symbol of morality. Balance means weighing scale. You know, you don't cheat. It's everything is in balance. Symbols, morality, knowledge, humility, detachment, and compassion. All of these virtues have covered into Jina. He who drifts away from the true path is upset by vices like anger, conceit, delusion, and greed, all toxic passions. Huh? Converge into Jina. It's he who drifts away from the true path is obsessed. How do you explain obsess? Conceit. Yeah, conceit. Maya. Another word. Maya. Gujarati word will be Maya. So here it is the one. Now you can. Sarva Guna Sampanna Jinadev. You are Sarva Guna Sampanna, you are filled with good virtues, forgiveness, non-attachment, kevanyan, and free of all toxic passion. You are occupied by all the virtues of the world. How can be any room for any fault, like toxic passion, rag, dvesh, you know? These are all the 8 attributes. Is the Ashok tree. Let me talk about the Ashok tree. O Tirthankar, sitting under the Ashok tree, the aura of your body is radiating. There is always, wherever there is a Tirthankar Bhagwan in giving congregation, there is always a Ashok tree. The Sanskrit Ashok means no misery or no sadness. The height of the tree is usually 12 times the height of Tirthankara. The first Tirthankara, Rishabdev, was the tallest. He was 500 dhanusha tall. So each dhanusha is 9 feet. So 4,500 feet tall. So Ashok tree was 12 times bigger than that. And this is all virtual reality. It's all achit. It's all, Deva can create all this virtual reality whenever there is samavasana. I think Girish Bhai was explaining that when there is samavasana, there are 4, you could see the 4 Bhagwan in a 4 different direction. And one is where Bhagwan is. But then Indra creates those other, so everybody can watch and listen to their congregation, you know. Sitting under the Ashok tree, the aura of your brilliancy is clever, body radiating. You look as divinely splendid as the orb of the sun amidst dense cloud piercing the growing darkness with its rays. Tejashbhai, we decided just to save time, we have to close by 10:20. So we're just doing the picture one and playing. Right. So it's a duplication. This is the one, Sihasan. Ratnamay Sihasan thi alipta Bhagwan stuti. The body of the Jina with golden glows looks resplendent on the gem-studded thorn. Bhagwan Mahavir color was more like a gold. Just like the golden sun on the peak of the eastern mountain. By the way, the Sihasan is not touching the ground. It's about 2-3 inches above the Bhagwan sits about 2-3 inches above the Sihasan. So it's about. ચામર કહે છે કે પ્રભુ પાસે નીચા નમો ને ઊંચું પદ પામો. The snow white fans of loose fibers swinging on the both sides of your golden body appears like a stream of water, pure and glittering as the rising moon, flowing down the sides of the peak of the golden mountain Sumeru. So he's just comparing those whisks are the foaming water coming down the mountain. It looks similar like whisk, chamar. There are 64 chamars in that one. The golden body of the Jina with the fans and the flakes has been compared with Sumeru mountain, Mount Meru, and foaming stream. This is the 4 attributes, the 3-tier canopy. A 3-tier canopy, Ratnatraya Chhatra Chhaya, Bhava Tapne Roke Che, Bhava Tapne Roke Che. A 3-tier canopy adorns the space over your head, shielding from the scorching sun rays. In this 3 canopy symbolizes that you are the paramount over the 3 world. These 3 canopy spiritually represent Ratnatraya, Samyak Darshan, Gnan and Charitra. Canopy has no support again, it's all Indra creates this virtual reality. And canopy represents Aryan's Lord supremacy. This is the fifth attributes. Dudumbi Vaja Dharmarajino Jai Jaikar Kare Che. The gods, devas are beating on the drums in the sky. I forgot the number. There are hundreds of thousands of drums beating during congregation, telling everybody to come and join us for sermon of Aryan Lord. Hearing the trumpet, drums beats, all living beings and start coming through the throngs. Throng, this large group of people gathered closely. Can you imagine? Somebody was saying that many of us been in Samavasaran. Today, Girish Bhai told us, and wish we had some kind of memory of it, They said, many of us been to Samavasaran in our previous life. Yeah, in our previous life.
From point of view, infinite past life.
Right. Okay, very true. They say, to achieve where we are, we have been going around Anant Chobisi. And each Chobisi is huge. So Anant Chobisi we have been going around. And the other thing I was surprised was, normally 48 human life average person can achieve. So 2000. Acha. I see. This Mandar, Nameru, those are all the flowers with fragrance. A shower of flowers, angels and gods are spraying perfumes and sprinkling fragrant flowers. It appears that word uttered by the Jina have turned into flowers, the compilation of which have become the 12 canons, which means Agam Sutra. Halo around the Lord, the face of Jina sitting in the divine congregation is visible from all directions. There is a bright halo around his face that is more dazzling than the sun and cooler than the moon. Whenever there is a Samoa learn, within 125 yojans, there is no disease. No disease. Yojan. Each yojan is anywhere, huh? Okay. There are different numbers. There are different numbers of yojan, you know. But they say that within that distance, no disease. And this is, we talked about that biophoton when we say that karma theory, right? Karma theory and modern science, their biophotons are so strong, so they, whatever incoherence of your body cells, they become coherent. And your body functions very, the way it should be. And that's one of the reasons, a lot of time when you go to Acharya Muni or, you feel that some vibration, and those are those biophotons. But Bhagavan has the strongest biophoton, Arihant Lord. It can go for 125 yojan. Now, this yojan, when we did Jain Universe, that time Dr. Jaini is one of the scholar. He said that means it's almost 500,000 miles, those one yojan. But I think the number varies depending upon a space or on the land. Each number varies on those yojan. But I wish there was some place they say, hey, this is the number we're going to follow. But there is a lot of variation in yojan, a distance in a mile. Okay. There, one Digambar, one has 44, other one has 48, right? 44, right. I think the Digambar has 48. I took 48 because we get 4 more stanza to understand, The divine language of the discourse. All animals, all the living beings can understand Bhagavan's language. The divine language of discourse, God, human, animals, all are present in congregation. Discourse about the 4-dimensional path leading to moksha is understood by each being in his own language. Yes. See how many times P is used in this one? This is one of the other alankar. The name of alankar is Anuprasa alankar. Anuprasa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times P is used. Your feet are resplendent like fresh golden lotus. Their nails have a comely glow. Wherever you put your feet, the gods creates a divine golden lotuses. Aryan Lord never puts feet down on the earth. The Deva creates this lotus. Jinendra Surya પાસે અન્ય કુદેવો ઝાંખા પડી જાય છે. It is the scene of divine congregation of the Jina, 8 grand divine felicitation, being from every strata of the life sitting together amicably. Such a religious assembly is unique. Can you imagine lion and tigers and all animals sitting quietly in congregation and nobody's hurting anybody? You know, you can see all different types of animals are there. 3-inch. Now next 8 verses is related to all the fears. You know, and these are the name. Fear of elephant, fire, war, disease, lions, snakes, imprisonment. And there are lots of stories behind each of those fears. In those days, somebody was walking in the forest and there was a fire forest. If they recited Bhaktamar Stotra or that particular stanza, Chakreshwari Devi would come to help you. You know, there is a story like lion came and devotees started singing and, you know, reciting Bhaktamar Stotra, and lion went away. You know. Right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, sorry. Right. Right. Well, see, yes. See. The first fear of elephant, a mad elephant with dripping humor and humming bees around advances toward the meditating devotee. Now this mad elephant, when he is in a heat or the bumblebees go around, he is the worst kind of elephant to face. Even that kind of elephant approaches near, it calms down, and like a pet sits near the devotee. This is again those biophotons, sense that vibrations and, oh sorry. This is fear of lions. A ferocious lion has torn open an elephant head and added to the pile of blood-drenched bone pearls. Even so dangerous, a lion sits calmly near the devotee engrossed in meditation of the jina. Third fear of fire. We can all use this in California, you know. One of the state, 50% of either Minnesota or other one, there was 50% of the area was in fire. Either Minnesota or which is other state with them. Just about a couple of weeks ago. To save their lives, the animals of the wild are running away from the forest fire, approaching the devotee of the jina. The devotee extinguishes the conflagration by name laudation. Oh, sorry. Fear of snake, devotee who has absorbed the antitoxin of Piyush's name crosses fearlessly over an extremely venomous and hissing serpent that has blood-red eyes, pitch-black body, obnoxious appearance, and raised hood. Similar thing in the Hasendrabhai Stotra too. One of the gentlemen got a bite of snake, and he said, well, why don't you go this what do you call the Muslim gentleman who takes care of your some kind of disease? Fakir. So he goes to this fakir, and fakir starts singing Hasendrabhai Stotra. You know, it's similar like Bhakta. And he was a Muslim, and the Jain guy went there to take care of his snake bite, and he was surprised that Muslim fellow is reciting Hasendrabhai and, would cure my snake bite. So then the gentleman really realized that I'm Jain, and look at this Muslim fellow has more faith than I am. So there's a lot of story on snakes. Where we live, we have so many rattlesnakes. You know, many times we see them resting and sunbathing in our patio. So this would help me to be strong, and that we call animal shelter. Animal shelter. Fear battles. Hearing the din of elephant, horses, soldiers, formidable army of the enemy, devotee sings hymns in praise of Jina. Due to the effect of name chanting, army of the foe retreats, and he himself comes to surrender. Wish we can stop all the wars. fear of battles. Just think of 12.5 years of spiritual undertaking of Mahavir Swami. He probably faced many, many more than what we are seeing, and every day, so just imagine Bhagwan didn't fear anything, you know. In the battlefield, stream of bloods are flowing from the bodies of the elephants, spears by spear. In such a fierce battle, the devotee bows down at the lotus feet of Jina and advances. He defeats the enemy and returns victorious. Fear of water. The ship sways on the giant waves of stormy sea. In such a terrifying predicament, the devotee chants the name of Jina and the ship reaches ashore safely. Now we have to think about 77 Boeing, right? We fly a lot, so those days everybody took the boat. A patient of dropsy lies burning hopelessly. Such a person takes dust particle from under the feet of Jina and rub them on his body. Due to that divine effect, he regains his health. There's a story during Mahavir Swami time. One of the fellow was under the rule of Muslim king, and falsely they imprisoned him. And he started reciting Bhaktamar Stotra. Chakreshwari Devi came and freed him. This is the 8th fear of imprisonment. In a prison, person is lying heavily chained. He chants the name of Jina. Chains and shackles breaks down automatically and returns home. Similar story on Mantung Suri, right? When he composed the stotra, 48 locks and chains, they were open. With every stanza, each locked open. Just have to have that faith. One, yeah, because when he started reciting, there were 48 locks and 48 tala chavi. And then every time we recite one stanza, each one started breaking. Right. Well, yesterday you were here, right? Well, the story was that during that time, Hindu, right, he was Hindu, but then he turned Jain. But Hindu priests were doing so many miracles. So people were losing a faith in Jain religion. So king invited him to prove that you are worthy of miracles. So he said, okay, lock me up in jail in a 48, with a 48 locks and a chain. And then every time he composed one stanza, each lock opened up. And then finally he was free. This is summary of all those 8 fears we talked about. So here is the summary of person surrounded by fear, worried and apprehensive when he recites this stanza, this panegyric, all fears are removed and becomes pleasant as is fearless and pleasure have drowned anew. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolute true faith in learning would actually eliminate. But so much ashtanka or doubt keeps us, stops us from
Right.
with absolute faith and willing to do what is said. They are there. See, all the fears and all the pride are all related to the body. They're not related to the soul. So once the body of the but absolute.
Absolutely. Akhand astha, unbreakable faith. And that is not a and they say not a single word of Aryan Bhagwan's you have doubts, absolute. And you know how big our Agam Sutras are. This is the main one. Yeah. This is the heart and soul of Bhaktamar Stotra. Importance of this poem, message of liberation. The different meaning of various words in this verse, Mantunga means the name of the poet, and Mantunga could mean a person with honor and pride. A person who is elevated to a higher position due to his devotion. Lakshmi means goddess Lakshmi, wife of Vishnu, or Lakshmi here can be interpreted as final liberation, nirvana. Garland of flowers is either garland in a normal sense or it can be taken as composed of beautiful words. Wearing the garland round the neck has another meaning too, remembering and reciting near our own heart. Uttam Falni Suchna Purvak Strotrana Upahansar. Importance of this poem, message of liberation. With devotion, I have made up this garland of your virtues. I have decorated with charming words and beautiful flowers The devotee who always wears a garland around the neck, means memorizing and chanting, attracts the goddess of success, Lakshmi, meaning attaining liberation. The devotee has in his hands a garland of 48 beads marked with the first two letters of 48 stanza of this panegyric. Lakshmi, the goddess of success, prosperity, is drawn towards the devotee who is chanting the hymn. So these are some of those words. Oh, we did at least in time today. Oh, we got something more. So these are the stanza: improving knowledge, protection, bewitching spells. You know, those days, a lot of bewitching and a lot of ghost, improving oratory, relief for disease, fulfillment of needs, cures of snake bite. Right, right.
Well, there are two kinds of devotees. One that uses it for liberation, one that uses it for
Agree.
samsari
Right.
issues.
So that's when Naukar mantra comes in. Naukar mantra is Nishkam Bhav mantra. So Naukar mantra, you're not asking for anything, but you get benefits of everything. Remember we did first day Naukar mantra.
You don't have to ask.
Agree, agree. Agree. There are lots of story of person who were rescued from troubles by the goddess Chakeshwari. People believe that goddess Chakeshwari helps a person who recite worship Bhaktamar Stotra by heart. There was a guy, a businessman, Lakshmidhar. Once he was traveling in a forest, suddenly surrounded by the fire. He was a very religious man, a very devotional man. And seeing the fierce fire, he started meditating Bhaktamar Stotra. And Chakeshwari Mata appeared and rescued him. You know. Where's my nose? I don't know. I don't know. This is seventh one. I don't remember, but I can send it to you. एक तो मरण भई छे मोटू. That's the one I remember. I don't remember any other six. Right. Agree. Right. Agree. So, right. Number numbers. So, again, that's why to get most benefit from Stotra, one should recite with clear pronunciation, deep, inexhaustible, unbreakable faith and overflow of devotion, akhandasta, akut, atut saddhati, towards Aryan teaching, antakaranti, ultra pure mind, without even slightest of rag, dvesh, towards any living being. And many times you wonder why this thing is not working. Because one thing is we have not given samarpanman to Panchaparmesti. Or other thing is we have not believed in 9 tattvas, 6 eternal truth, and every word of Agam, Sutra. The second thing is we have not been kind to all living beings. We have not learned equality, equanimity towards every living being. The third thing is we have gone after our sharir, not atma. We're always thinking of our body. And the fourth one is padarth, parigraha, panch mahabhutkay, and paristhiti. We are in jail of all of this thing, paristhiti, for whatever reason, you are caught in circumstances. Padarth means, we are in worldly materials. Parigraha means we haven't learned. Today we got a good lesson from Girishbhai, that to how to become a parigraha, and Panch Mahabhutkay. So anything we can do to avoid those circumstances, we can achieve more guidance and a path towards moksha. Very true. Agree. Very true. Agree. 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 Right. Right. Comes to you. And that's why it says up to fourth gunstan, you don't have to do anything. Just having a pure faith, you can achieve fourth gunstan. And then when we heard that many of us, not mithyatva, we are below mithyatva, that really scares you. That, achieve. Yeah. Agree. Let me finish this and then we'll do a little discussion. We have time. Thank you, Michami Dukram. All of you folks, I really appreciate your support. Really. And this is written by this Vinod Kapashi. He has written every detail in 9 No Smaran. We done Bhaktamar, all the details. It was written by this gentleman. Shashan Viruddha, kahin bhi kehvanu hoy, to Michhami Dukram. And we recite one Naukar mantra and then we can do discussion. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam, Eso Panchanamukaro, Sauvapalapanasano, Mangalanam cha Sauvesim, Padamam Havai Mangalam. આપ બધા સુખ સાતામાં હશો. Michhami Dukram. Hey, now we can discuss whatever. Right.
One in the same channel, there is another very nice one. It's called Kalyan Mandir. And that was addressed to Partner. It's also equally good.
If anybody has idea what we do next year, let me know. Right. You will get, he has loaded down all the slides. He will do it. Slides are there. Slides are there.
Apart this making it work for us, what he said helped a lot. But for Swati, there is 4 or 5 steps. Like Vachana or repetition. Paravartana is what he talks about.
Right.
Then there is Tulsina, ask question of things you don't
Right.
understand. And Anupreksha. So you have to go deep inside this, what they're telling us, and think about it, and take it deep inside our unconscious level. So the conscious level is not waste of time. It's a good start, but it doesn't help. All the problems are at the unconscious level. So we keep saying, like, go watch a movie, 100 times there's but if you think about it, somebody to take it deep inside and understand its meaning, and that's when he decides to accept. Until then, we will not accept it. So we think moving songs will really accept it. But when he decide to understand and make a decision, like I will not lie, I will not cheat, I will not that decision making deep inside is simple. So we will detain ourselves for these things to be true. And we keep playing games. You have to go through that, but then we will.
See, the other thing he said was, Badhana Sara Gunojo. Only look at the good in all of them. Krishna Bhagwan was traveling and there were bodyguards in front and they saw a dead dog. He was smelling terrible. And all the people got scared. He said, what is Bhagwan going to tell us? And he sees, he said, what a beautiful white teeth. You know, if I can learn just to look good in everybody, you know, especially my 50% of the problem would be gone. You know, that's what Bhagwan is saying, that just, he had a compassion towards Chandakoshyonag. And if you read the description that he's poisoned, he was so poisonous that flying birds were falling dead. Drashtivesh, right. Agree. And Bhagwan looked at Indra Bhagwan and Chandakoshik with the same drashti. Now how can you that is, can't even imagine, but once we just look and good in everybody, I think like Shukla Bhav, not auspicious Bhav, Shukla Bhav, without any Raga Dvesh, then we can move. Hopefully we talk about it and like say, little by little we achieve our goal. We achieve it. You want to take the microphone?
Thank you.
Thank you, and they were great. So that's thank you for coming. Thank you.
One person goes today, maybe not as by
Agree.